Striker is really trying to pull a new form out of the metagame. Make sure you guys smash the crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out more. We've been tracking the many evolutions of this meta out here, and I've really been enjoying seeing how this meta's been developing. Now, there was a clear rift recently between Risel and Malice in the OCG. It's enough of a rift that, you know, these two decks kind of split apart, and we saw that last week, and that is continuing on this week for meta developments also. Now, Regenesis still sitting as third best deck in the room right now, which has been very cool to be seeing right now. I quite like that. We've also got the Blue Eyes Primite pile doing its standard shenanigans. Momento still doing absolutely crazy things. And then, of course, the White Forest itself still remains very strong in A tier. Now, B tier, we still have Crystron. I love the fact that you see such a strong difference between the metas out here, with Crystron being so strong in the OCG, but when you look at the TCG, this deck is barely, you know, doing anything out here. We also have Tenpai still exploding and still OTKing out here. And then down here in C tier, yes, Gem Knight's still holding on. I'm kind of curious to know where Gem Knight's going to fall on our side of the game. We also do see the Abyss Mermail pile still developing, and then Orcust. Remember, just a short time ago, that Orcust was so crazily powerful that it just fell down so hard from the meta. You've also got Ignister still doing some amazing things. Sky Striker, I think, was our most interesting developments recently, which is really cool to see. We also have Live Twins, and then Branded. The 60-card Branded idea has been showing up a lot out of the OCG, and they've been loving developing it. And of course, we also have some Labyrinth action for you as well. Now, in terms of, the overall meta, things are pretty locked in. It's going to be 3 weeks before we get a meta-changing set out here. So we'll have to wait and see where that goes. But let's pass on over those decks. Starting things off here, we have Risel, and it seems like we're on triple 7th Ascension this week. I'm not all that surprised to see that, you know, we've got a meta development like this, but that's actually pretty cool. We also one Nibiru, one Effect Veiler in the main deck. We finally get to see those Altards actually shaking up out here and doing the thing. And it also looks like the Hammer of Justice is being sighted down here in the side deck. That's actually kind of a cool tech choice. Also the Hazy Flame Banshee, but I like these developments. Next up here, we have Malice sporting off Shifter in the main deck now. I guess I can't say that I'm surprised to see that. We're also playing Hark now in this. So, you know, getting a Link Climb is going to be pretty important. You do see the Lightning Storm down there in the side deck as a one-of, which is kind of funny, I guess. The fact that, you know, you have options like this to do things is going to be really good. You still see the one main of Malice spell card in the main deck. So in terms of, you know, Malice, I don't think a lot's really shifted here. Next up here, we have Regenesis, the triple Lightning Storm in the main deck. So I am kind of impressed with this. The fact that you're doing some board breaker shenanigans in the main deck is good. Your extra deck, holy crap, that's a lot of things, man. Triple Ints, the triple Malong, the only one Meteor Logic. That's kind of interesting. You've got, you know, extra Malcharmy sighted down there, but this is actually a pretty strong anti-meta monster for what this deck does. We've also got Blue Eyes Primite for you out here. You know, not a lot has changed with this either. You know, we're back on the triple Dominus Purge in the main deck. You see the Ancient Fairy Life Dragon in here actually doing its thing. You also will see the Primite Trap card down there. I believe it's Primite Scream actually helping out this deck. But also, you know, we've cut out Crimson Dragon and friends like that. I still like that package, but the OCG is now heading away from meta developments with that. We've also got, oh, well, hi, Memento. You know, Memento still sits here as this very strong creature, and it really does some stupid things. I'm also happy to see that we have a Goblin Cage in the main deck this week, but we're on 2 of the Goblin, as of course, and then all of your Malcharmies are accounted for. 3 Fuas in the main deck, and then the 3 Perulia and the triple Meows down the side deck. And we're also playing a copy of There Can Only Be One down there in the side. Kind of spicy, actually. Now, we've also got, oh, wow, Risel and friends. So, White Forest, in terms of its developments, still playing, you know, one Wanted, the one Sinful Spoils of, you know, Deception, and then, of course, the one Hollowed Azamina in here. With the restrictions of this deck, deck has. I understand. Also, you do see that we are playing the Azamina Fusion monster here. We're not playing the new one, though. We're just choosing to access the one-of in here, so that's kind of cool, I guess. Next up here is Chron. Oh, I see that we are doing some River Stormer action in here for the Infinitrack for this deck. That's a cool little idea. I hadn't really considered seeing Infinitrack stuff built into this deck, but, you know, this deck makes Ring 5s like it's its job, so I guess it would make sense that we would have some natural inherent synergy with that idea. So that's kind of cool to see that Crystons are kind of reverse engineering with that idea. We've also got Tenpai Dragons. Now, this deck still is, you know, OTK central. Even though, you know, we've cut back on what this deck is supposed to do, you still have the triple Sengen summoning in the deck. Your whole goal is still to clear off your opponent's field. That's why you see, you know, the triple Ultimate Slayer in here, so you can actually do the thing. This deck is by far the definition of mid-range at this point in time. It can explode. It can do exactly what it needs to. It can be a little bit slower sometimes, but as long as the deck is able to get that one shot, it'll end the game. We've also got, we have Gem Knights for you out here. No Block Dragon this week. I still find it funny that we have that short intermission where we looked back at Mr. Block Dragon and started developing him, and then we just cut him back out of the meta. You also do see we have Lightning Storms down on the main deck, double Meows, and then of course the triple Exceed Encore down there. Risel is still a very, very real threat to the meta, so you need to have as many cards as you actually can to kind of clear that on up. So it looks like the meta is developing towards that. Oh, hi Mermails. So we are on the Water Barrier statue this week. I'm glad to see that the OCG is testing out the Prima Donna stuff. So that was kind of what the last build in the TCG was doing, where you're using the Deep Sea Prima Donna to actually kind of waterlock your opponent. Now, obviously, you know, you got a water deck in the meta like Crystron that can actually kind of play through this, which is hilarious, but this does give a good sign in the meta out here that you've got options like this that you can actually, you know, work with. Okay. Next up is Orcust. Oh, okay. So we're playing the World Legacy Succession in here. All right. We're also doing the NTS Sirius. Getting that free body on the field, in my opinion, is going to be very, very strong. Gives some very good options. We also got the Triple Dominus Impulse in here. That way you can control your opponent. That's been a pretty strong card as well. And of course, you know, Double Crescendo. Double Crescendo sticking around being a very, very strong option for this game. Oh, hey, Ad Ignister. So this is still really funny to me that with one singular circular, this deck has been able to, you know, hold on to the meta and still be a relevant powerhouse out here. That's just how crazy powerful this was. But I mean, you know, Malice still kind of does it better. But the fact that Ad Ignister is still a deck, you know, and is able to do things, I kind of wish we'd bring Circular back in the TCG just so that we could play this deck and actually be able to, you know, do something. Next up here we have Sky Striker, triple Lightning Storm built into the main deck here. That's freaking insane. We've also got, you know, standard hand trap procedures in here. We're also only doing 2 linkage, which is fine, nothing too crazy. Then 2 Hayate, 2 Shizuku. So we're cutting back on a lot of the fat for the OTK or the extra bodies, just to kind of be able to clear things up, which is fine. We've also got 1 singular Nibiru down here. Wow, they really went ham with the altards for this. Next up here we have Evil Twins. You know, as long as the Fiendsmith package is going to be relevant, you're going to continue to see this deck kind of sticking around. You're only playing one of the New Link 1, but you're also only doing 1 Kishi Kill and only 1 of the Lilla in here. That's actually kind of interesting that they've cut back on so much of this stuff that we're actually able to take advantage of that. That's actually kind of cool. But also, you know, Dagda is going to be a very, very strong monster for this deck. Next up here, the 60-card Grass Fallen of Albast Turbo deck. You know, I'm pretty impressed with this deck, honestly. The fact that we have seen this deck be able to do all of this, but, you know, also Expulsion being a crazy thing. You've got Dragon Ravine built in here as well. All right, I see you. And I guess being able to mill down some Bestials or get you the Gimmick Puppet out of your hand if you draw it. Okay, I see you, I see you. And then our last list here is Labyrinth. Now, I do see that we are playing triple copies of Psalms of the Kings just to be able to have the new one, along with the Triple Dominus Impulse. That was kind of what we were expecting to be happening with this deck. You know, Psalms really does allow this deck some stupid plays. And then, of course, I see Power Sink Stones down there in the side deck. So we have some really cool options here. But what do you guys think about these? Please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. And I will see your beautiful faces back here in a day, guys. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.